Big Goodwin here, and eventually we will. Like, subscribe, share, help rank up my channel, help promote it, and help promote this. Help promote this, really. Because cancel culture is a disgusting aspect of society. Twitter is so awful. And making people lose their jobs, their livelihood, and all that. Now, this is quite the stretch to make something like this actually happen. I mean, it's not something that was even serious in the first place. Hartley Sawyer being fired from The Flash. It's not something... they were old jokes. They were old jokes. If you didn't like the sense of humor, well, get over it. You don't have to like it. They're just jokes. He did them for attention. They were never meant to be serious. They were never meant to be taken serious, but some people are just so damn... they're not even really sensitive. Let's be honest about this. People just want to... somebody with no life wanted to dig up old tweets and destroy somebody that was successful. They'd rather use their time to destroy somebody else, all their time to destroy somebody else that was successful, because they're a failure and they're filled with bitterness and hatred. And rather than productively use their time to build something, they just want to feel like a victim and destroy other people. That's the real toxic nature of Twitter and the toxic nature of cancel culture, and the fact that they empower these people by canceling, by getting rid of celebrities. It's just... it is really strange that people with so much money and power and influence would cave to someone just because they claim to be a victim. Anyways, fans have created a petition to bring Hartley Sawyer back to The Flash. And I applaud this. I bring him back. I don't know if he would even want to come back, though, honestly, because Grant Gustin, Stephen Amell, they threw him. They were quick to just be like, yeah, what he did was wrong, and we want nothing to do with it or him. I mean, that wasn't their exact words, but they pretty much threw him under the bus. Anyways, it's a long shot. It's been a few days since Hartley Sawyer was fired from his gig on The Flash, as their old tweets were deemed derogatory remarks by the CW. Still, his portrayal of Ralph Digby, the elongated man, has its fans who want him rehired. A petition of Warner Brothers was started on change.org to get them to reverse the CW's decision. It has garnered over 7,000 supporters as of today. I want people to support this. It may not have any actual effect, but I think people should absolutely support this. Even if you were offended by the jokes that he made, even if you were, that was years ago, man. That was years ago. If you don't do something, you potentially put a man out of work, at least in Hollywood, for the rest of his life, if you don't stand up against this cancel culture. So I say, sign it, support it. I'll go check it out myself. Like I said, these were 8-year-old tweets. He's apologized for him. He's since changed, and the fact, I mean, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth that he apologized for it, and he came out in support, and he bent the knee, and all that stuff leaves a bad taste in my mouth. That cancel culture needs to be pushed back against, and this could be one way to push back against it. I mean, imagine how angry those toxic people would be if he were to come back. And they're a small... here's the deal. They're a small vocal minority. So it risked nothing for the CW to walk back its decision. It absolutely risked nothing. And so much of the Flash show was actually invested in this character, his story, and all that. So it would be a really drastic shift to go back into the next season of Flash, even though I'm not a hardcore dedicated Flash fan, because the show has just gone downhill with all of its continuity errors and stuff. I still haven't finished the last episode of the last season, but I try to watch it and stick with it, even though I feel like it's gone downhill drastically. So the description, which reads as follows, points out the comments were made nearly a decade ago. Hartley, oh, they put Hartley. That's a typo. Hartley Sawyer played Elongated Man on The Flash and was fired over racist comments made 6 to 8 years ago. I believe Hartley should not be fired over something that happened years ago and now is a different person. Help me bring to the... it's not just that it happened years ago. It was that it was jokes in the first place. It was never meant to be taken serious. You may not like the jokes, but it's not like they were as bad as James Gunn's jokes. Anyways, everyone has said something offensive, whether they mean for it to be offensive or not. He shouldn't be fired because of a past decision that was popular to do at the time. If that's the case, every actor, actress who made posts like that should be fired. Absolutely agree. Sawyer, many of his derogatory remarks were exposed by actress Sky Jackson, who tweeted screenshots. Oh, wow. So, what? Why would you do this? So, you went out of your way to go. Why would you do this? The revelation was met with swift, dismal, and impassioned statement by executive producer Eric Wallace. And I'm not going to read what he said because we've already read that before it. So Wallace went on, he went on to say he's committed to bringing permanent change to the work environment on The Flash and will hire more black and brown writers, producers, directors, actors. See, here's another thing is, black people are so oppressed, but Hollywood is catering to them in a way that they're privileged. And they've been doing this for the past couple of years. That we talk about all this supposed oppression and all that. I'm not even going to get into that. Let's just go on. As you can see here, where Grant Gustin just kind of threw him under the bus, shocked, saddened, and angry over Sawyer's tweets. Gustin admitted he couldn't act much after Eric Wallace's statement. But this whole thing is just really disgusting that they let somebody destroy another person. And it's pretty long-winded. It goes on to Hartley's statements, all these statements being made, all these god-awful apologies that are unnecessary. You didn't do anything wrong. There's a such thing as freedom of speech, and you didn't really say anything that was racist. So, given the current political climate, chances Sawyer will be brought back to The Flash for Season 7 or after are worse than slim, no matter what the impact of the petition is. What a few actors and entertainers, from Expendables star Terry Crews to WWE wrestler Jackson Riker, have come under fire for social media posts since the death of George Floyd and the riots and global protests. Twitter mobs and others are going after another Flash star, Danielle Panabaker, Stephen Amell, and actor-director John Krasinski, with little success. Both Amell and Panabaker were accused of racism. And I've already showed all those remarks in other videos because I've been talking about this subject and how it keeps escalating out of control. And the best way to put out that fire is to really walk back a decision you made in the first place that was wrong, such as firing Hartley Sawyer for something said years ago. Years ago. It's pretty despicable. So let's see what Purple Tooth has to say, because he's the only one in the comment section right now. Nope, James Gunn was the correct side of politics and made $1 million films. This guy doesn't have a chance in hell. That's funny. He mentions James Gunn just like I did. Yeah. You see how Hollywood is. You see how woke Twitter is. If you're on the right side of the narrative, then you can say anything and you can get away with it. If you're on the wrong side, or if you're not that huge where it's impossible to knock you down, they're gonna knock you down. They're gonna murder your livelihood for their own sick, twisted amusement. Anyways, that's the video there. Like I said, I want people to support this petition, even though it may not result in anything at all. I just think that there needs to be some kind of element of pushback against cancel culture. This stuff needs to be called out, and it needs to have an end put to it. So let me know what you think of all this stuff. Let me know if you're going to sign the petition. Let me know if you're going to check out the petition. Let me know if you think, oh, no, they're justified in firing him. He deserves to be cut off from his livelihood and probably blacklisted in Hollywood. Or if you believe he deserves a second chance because he didn't really do anything wrong and they were jokes in the first place, never meant to be taken serious. So, Big Goodwin here. Like, subscribe, share, help promote and rank up my channel. Stay awesome and rock on.